It's a pretty common thing to see people who work in the same fields as their parents. Sometimes they even work in the same organisations. We've also seen this in football on many occasions. And in one of our previous videos, we told you about footballers whose sons also play the game. Now in this video, we'll talk about some of the times that footballers have followed in their father's footsteps by playing for the same clubs their fathers previously played in. So here are 10 famous father-son duos who played for the same club. Do sit back and enjoy it. Number 1. Erling Haaland and Alfie Haaland. In 2003, Alfie Haaland sustained an injury while playing for Man City. It then turned out to be the one which ended his playing career. If you were there at the time, you probably would have thought that would be the last time a person named Haaland would play for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case now, because following his recent transfer to Man City, Alfie's son, Erling, has now joined the very short list of Haalands who have been signed by the club. And now it's just a matter of time before he gets to play for the club. We don't think the same things would be expected of them, because unlike Alfie, who was a defensive player, Man City are finally getting a Haaland who could score loads of goals for them. However, there's one thing that could be a source of worry, and that's Erling's recent injury record. So they must both be hoping he gets over those struggles and plays for more years than his dad did. Number 2. Patrick Kluivert and Justin Kluivert. Patrick started his playing career at Ajax before leaving the club as a youngster in 1997 and going on to become a legend at Barcelona. The story doesn't seem to be going much different for his son Justin, who also started his playing career at the Dutch club, only to end up leaving in 2018 as a teenager. He's currently on loan at French club Nice and would be hoping to take after his father by becoming a football great. Number 3. Zinedine Zidane and Lucas Zidane. Former French international Zinedine Zidane attained legendary status at Real Madrid as a player, but he didn't stop there. Years after retirement, he also returned to consolidate that status by helping them win 3 straight Champions League titles. Those are major achievements for him, and one person who must be dreaming of having similar achievements is his son, Luka, who is a goalkeeper. Well, he got his opportunity to do just that as he spent all of his youth career at the Real Madrid Academy. But ultimately, he was deemed not good enough and was sold in 2019. Now, it doesn't look likely that he'll be able to replicate his father's achievements as a player. Well, or not with Real Madrid at least. Number 4. Daniel, Paolo and Cesar Maldini. You know of Paolo Maldini and his son Daniel, yeah? But do you also know they're not the only Maldinis who have played for AC Milan? Yep, Paolo's father, Cesar, also played for the club. What that means is that 3 different generations of the family have now played for Milan. That's crazy, right? Well, if any family deserves to have their name carved into the walls at AC Milan Stadium, then it's probably the Maldini family. In their time, Paolo and Cesar were defenders and had about 1,000 combined appearances for the club. And although Daniel plays as an attacking midfielder, he'll still be open to match their achievements at the club. And at 20 years of age, he sure has a lot of time to do just that. And while he's at it, perhaps he'll even have a son too who'll also play for the club. Number 5. Diego Simeone and Giuliano Simeone. Diego Simeone has been the head coach of Atletico Madrid since 2011, but this isn't the first time he'd be at the club. As a player, he'd spent 3 seasons there, between 1994 to 1997. But do you know he's not the only one in his family who has played for this club? Yep, well, one of his 3 sons has also played for the club. And guess what? He was handed that debut just this season by his own father. You see, it's a pretty special thing to play at a club where your father played, but it's a whole new level of special to actually play under your father at the same club. Number 6. Johan Cruyff and Jordi Cruyff. While the father Johan may be one of the greatest footballers of all time, the same can't be said for his son Jordi. However, one thing they did have in common was playing for Barcelona. And not just that, because years after their retirements, they both returned to take up other roles at the club. For Johan, he returned as a coach in 1998 to guide the club through one of their most successful periods in their history. while Jordan just came back to the club as a sporting advisor last year and would now be hoping to replicate what his father did by guiding Barca back to their glory days. Number 7. Perico Alonso and Xabi Alonso. Both men played for Real Sociedad and had over 100 caps each before leaving the club. And not just that, they both came back after retirement to take up managerial roles at the club. Pretty cool, right? But one other thing you might find interesting about these men is after each of them left Sociedad, they also played for one of the two biggest Spanish clubs. But while Perico played for Barcelona between 1982 and 85, his son Xabi played for Real Madrid between 2009 and 2014. Number 8. Daley Blind and Daniel Blind. Just like his father in his playing days, Daley also plays mainly as a defender. But the playing position isn't the only thing they have in common. His father also played for Ajax, winning over 450 caps for them. And not just that, he was also part of the squad who won the 1995 Champions League. Having played over 300 games so far for the club, Daley still has quite a way to go if he's ever going to match his father's tally for the club. Number 9. Sergio Busquets and Carlos Busquets. Having won multiple titles at Barca, Sergio Busquets can surely be considered a Barcelona legend. But he's not the first in his family to achieve greatness at the Spanish club. His father, a former Barcelona goalkeeper, spent 9 years at the club and won multiple titles. Now, if there's anything we know Sergio for, it's his calmness and composure on the ball. He's so calm you'd almost think that trait was inherited, but that's not the case. Because, unlike Sergio, his father was more of an error-prone player. So, as you would imagine, he ended up making many blunders and conceding cheap goals. Perhaps this was the reason he spent most of those 9 years as a backup goalkeeper. Number 10. Federico Chiesa and Enrico Chiesa. Enrico Chiesa played as a striker at Fiorentina for a few years. He even helped them win the Coppa Italia in just his second season. And you know, the thing about players like that is that they become fan favourites. So that's exactly what happened to Enrico. But his time at the club wasn't as long as he'd have hoped for, because very early in his third season he sustained a nasty injury. This ruled him out for the rest of the season and ultimately ended his Fiorentina career, because at the end of that season he left the club. But good thing was, he still left the club as a hero. Many years later, his son Federico also got to play for Fiorentina. He even played more games for the club than his father did. But unlike his father, Federico doesn't look like he'll be getting a pleasant farewell when he leaves. This is mostly because he's been on loan at Juventus for the past 2 seasons, in a move which was seen by many Fiorentina fans as a form of betrayal. So, there you go. Do you know of any other father and son duos who have played for the same club? Do let us know in the comment section. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to get more cool videos, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications for this channel. Catch you next time. Bye.